Even though the technology may be there today to do a lot of things, right, it's going to take time. Now, the really great news for all of us, and this was spoken about, I was so happy to hear the panel leaders earlier today, is that luxury always has been, is, and always will be about human experience, human connection, right, and that emotional connection, right, relationships, experience. AI is not going to replace that. In fact, the really great news is actually AI is going to make it even more rare. So if you think about an airline experience, and it's not just Turkish Air, broadly, right? If you want to have a more human experience, you're going to be in business class or first, right? At hotels, many more hotels, because of labor, because of costs of real estate investment below luxury, and outside boutique and certain destinations are becoming more self-service or less human service than it was historically. That depends on culture and country, but broadly, luxury is going to continue to be the place where people go to reconnect with themselves, where they're able to connect as human beings. And while I don't celebrate the fact that that may be more rare in society than it was historically, that breaks my heart, the reality is we are going to have an even greater opportunity and a more important role to play. So how many of you feel like this with all the headlines? Raise your hands of AI breaking news every week, right? It's pretty overwhelming. Media companies get paid for you to click on ads. And the reality is there's a lot of exciting things going on with the technology. What I want to say first is breathe. There is going to be plenty of time for us in luxury to see the advancements and the different ways that companies experiment, not only in other industries like retail, but economy, budget, mid-scale, before it's appropriate. I used the reference before of when it was, hey, when is it a good time for luxury to start allowing guests to text the front desk and adopt that technology? Well, it's when our guests in mainstream society felt that that was okay, right? My generation, there were also things that changed in society. When I was growing up, and many of you may recall this, it was don't talk to strangers. Don't get in a stranger's car. Don't you stay with a stranger overnight, God forbid, right? Well, social media sites, dating sites, don't get in a stranger's car, Uber. Don't stay at a stranger's home, Airbnb. Things change. Society evolves, different sensibilities on privacy. So there will be time. So the first message is we are in a wonderful place to continue doing what we've always done. The second thing is that there is time for us to learn, to adopt, and as society goes, we'll embrace it. This is my friend Gilad. How many of you know Virtuoso, the kind of global advisor consortia and travel agencies? So he's a good friend. He's on Matthew's board, Matthew Upchurch, the CEO. And what I really think is really important that sometimes gets lost is AI is just a tool, okay? Gilad and I talk about this all the time. It is just a tool to help us be more productive, to make you, whether you're an advisor, an experience provider, a hotelier, an airline, to be able to augment you and free up from what is largely administrative, repetitive, non-valued activities to focus your teams and your efforts on things that are more value add, to personalize, to be able to do things. We also talk about this notion of the great commoditization. This latest iteration of Gen AI, where you can kind of type in a question and get kind of specifically what you're looking for as opposed to just pages and pages of results you have to click through. That generative AI notion of capability enables me, you, as a generalist without specialized knowledge to be able to function in ways that otherwise would take maybe years of expertise or knowledge or a lot more time to be able quickly to get to the information you need. Okay? So this is what I talked about before. How many of us want to go back to that? So there's still the importance of technology to remove frictions where our guests want it, welcome it, and in the time that they do. And that's not going to be the same for every guest, right? There are some that are always going to be analog. And I really loved the conversation earlier today because each guest is different in terms of their preferences. And there's a friend who's a New York Times best-selling author who wrote an equation that said, disappointment is reality minus expectations. Chip Conley wrote this. So disappointment is reality minus expectations. And everybody in this room has different expectations. And so I think what we do exceptionally well at Luxury, all of us, is ask the questions. And we talked about in Saudi, right? Being able to understand each one of your guests and what exactly it is, or Clay Door, what is it you really want with this restaurant? To say, you know what? That's fine, I'm happy to make this reservation for you, but what you described, there's this amazing place that just opened up with this amazing chef that nobody really knows about, right? How do you do that in a way to personalize? So technology is just a tool, and I love this quote from Matthew, who's Virtuoso's CEO, that we want to automate the predictable so you can humanize the exceptional, which all of you do and are exceptional at.